Okay, so welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to our podcast. I went to the bathroom, and I like to sit when I pee, as all our listeners know clearly from episode 1.
Can we introduce the podcast before this story?
Oh, it's almost done. I'm
Okay.
like halfway through. So I sit down when I pee, and my stomach's a little unsettled.
Yeah.
So when a turtle head kind of pops up sometimes.
Okay, no, yeah, we're stopping this.
Okay.
You're not starting like this right now. Okay. So welcome to the Glow Down. This is our new podcast that we have tried to film 10 times. We filmed the first episode of this podcast 9 times, and the microphones that we actually got sent from somebody that wanted to sponsor us were too good of quality for our poor production.
Or we don't have a good room. We just use the studio. So you need to isolate rooms, and you need to make it
we just
sound
don't have
bounces.
that. Literally.
Yeah, so this one, just make sure you're speaking into the mic, and we won't have those overlay problems.
Do you know how much lore I have just dumped over these fucking 9 episodes at this point?
This is episode 10, and we're starting at episode 1.
I have to explain the name again. I think I'm going to skip over so much. Welcome to the Glow Down. I'm calling this the Glow Down. Everybody that I told everyone I wanted to name this the Camel's Toes because I thought I was being so funny and quirky.
Yeah.
Everyone said no. My manager was like, ah. Everybody I told was like, oh, yeah, do you think it's funny? And I'm like, okay, they're treating me like I have something wrong with me.
Some
Okay.
sort of illness.
Yeah. So it's called the Glow Down because, last year, man, I had a really bad glow down. I'm trying to work my way out of the trenches now, but so that's why I called it the Glow Down. Kind of funny. We're just going to pass over that because I
Sounds good.
have explained it so many times and I don't want to do it again.
It's okay. For this, just know that the Glow Down is like a glow up, but backwards.
If you're a visual listener, I'm sorry. There's so many crows behind me.
You've been feeding them this whole fucking hour.
No, I fed them a Nature Valley granola bar. You know those ones where you open them a little bit and then it just dumps on the floor?
Yeah.
I've been feeding them that granola bar and now I have a cult of crows and ravens behind me.
Sick.
And it's the most on-brand thing ever and I'm so happy about it. So if you're a visual listener, I've done this for you so you can go birding in the background of this podcast.
You'll see multiple birds.
I thought I gave myself a lobotomy in Vegas.
Yeah, you didn't have a good time. You were snorting so much.
No,
nutty.
No. The air in Vegas and the hotel smoke in it, the amount of nosebleeds that I was getting, I thought I got a lobotomy.
It was disgusting. Do you remember when you took a shower and then you you texted me?
Yes.
And it was just this glob of
it was
blood.
brain matter.
No,
out
it looked
of my
like
nose.
it looked like you were kind of crying in the photo. So I'm like, I think she's gonna die.
Yeah, and then you ran into the bathroom and it was Bloody Mary. I was covered in blood, naked in the shower, and you were like, "What the actual fuck is wrong with you?"
I was also on the toilet, and so again, I had to stand up and come running with schlongen.
But that's the most love. You had poo poo ass. You know what I mean? And then you still ran into
I wiped because if you're running with poo poo ass,
it's gonna spread in the cheeks.
No, not even. It'll fall on the ground. I don't want to step in that.
The little chunks of shit. But that's true love. You shitting yourself, coming to save me while I was covered in blood, my Carrie moment.
Yeah.
I don't think you know what that means.
Your what?
The Carrie moment, the movie Carrie.
Who's Carrie?
It's
Isn't that a horror movie?
Yeah, Carrie's just covered in blood. That was me in the shower.
Yeah. Megan Fox was in it. I think.
No,
she was something else. She was in a horror movie.
So, yeah.
Taya Mox.
The relationship that I have with Cam, by the way, we have someone in the back named Cam.
Yes.
Cam is one of my best friends. She's also my assistant. She also tattoos in the tattoo studio we're sitting in. She does everything, actually. And when I was having that moment of everything falling out of my nose, my brain was coming out of my nose, I literally almost texted Cam a photo of almost my naked body with just blood everywhere. And I had to stop myself. And I was like, you can't be sending this to someone you guys, that's crossing a line. You know what I mean? And then, so instead of just sending it to her unprompted, I asked her if she wanted one of the photos.
Oh, good.
And then she said yes. So then I sent it to her.
This is why we have HR in place. We don't.
Cam's HR.
She's also HR, so technically it makes sense.
It's fine. It's
the
all
legal
fine.
Department, Cam.
Yeah.
HR, Cam.
Exactly.
You want your parking rendered, serviced?
Your parking taxi? No, not taxied.
Validated.
Parking validated. Cam. Exactly.
Yeah. But I hope these microphones don't pick up the same way last time, because now we're talking a lot louder than our test from home, and we're
really traumatized because we filmed this so many times. this is like number, like it's between 5 and 10 at this point.
I
I
took
tried
a
to
course.
film some at home and
I took a course. No, I'm not
Yeah.
even kidding. I fully went into like audio engineering. I know post-production like the back of my ass now.
we just still suck
And-
so bad at it.
Yes.
But then I kept being so worried because like I felt like I kept giving you guys so much lore and like traumatizing stories from my life, and now I have to like reshare them and relive that trauma today.
yeah.
But I think it's fine.
And this is going to be so uncut too. It's going to be like
Bitch, I'm not editing this. Like, respectfully, fuck that. I do not have the time
I will
in my
edit
life.
it, but I'm only editing to make it sound nice.
Actually, my brother's editing it, so you're not.
He's also editing the video. I'll take care of the audio.
Oh,
As
okay.
long as the audio is taken care of, I don't care about the rest. We'll say some freaky shit.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is going to be uncut like a baby's foreskin.
Okay, you know how I was gushing blood, like my lobotomy from my nose from like Las Vegas?
Yeah.
I also, traumatic story from last night that I didn't even tell Cam because like kind of just psychotic. We were watching the Terrifier last night.
Yeah, Terrifier 2.
I told you, I was like, I want to just like relax and like watch a wholesome movie. So you pulled up the Terrifier and I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
It
Like
was so good.
wholesome. He's like just this like silly, goofy guy. And if you don't know what the Terrifier is, it's this clown named Art the Clown, and he just basically murders people, but he's like a little silly, goofy guy. Like
It's
he'll ride
so
his
gory.
tricycle around in circles, like he'll play with the horn. There's someone taking the garbage out behind me. Just don't mind. I'm
Yeah.
not cutting this at all.
No. Do we mind closing that window? I think that'll help us.
Yeah, but so the Art the Clown rides around his tricycle. He like honks a horn, whatever, and he. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
Here, I'll close the
so
window
sorry.
for you. Here you go, sir. Are you happy?
I'm trying to make this work. I know we're gonna get like 5 listeners at first. I just
Okay.
You were saying something about Saw or whatever?
Art the Clown. No,
Right,
he
right.
murders people, but he's like kind of silly, goofy. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah, he's
like,
so funny.
And then he's like, he'll stab you, and then he'll be like,
Yeah.
like he'll do this like little face with his hands. So cute.
So cute.
So we're watching that, just gushing in blood. There's a scene where he, in the least graphic way possible, is like eating this girl's skin off of her body while she's still alive. It's very
From
gory.
last night or
From
the
last
first
night.
one?
And then do you want to know what happened? I started gushing blood again. Like, what's wrong with me? But it wasn't out of my nose. It was out of down south regions. I think my lobotomy has now traveled to my uterus, and my uterus is exiting my body.
Have you
through my
miscarried like
coochie.
6 times at this point?
No, okay. I literally, I told a story time once where I like woke up. You know that one time I woke up in a puddle of my own blood, and then I like passed out, and then like, you woke up and you were like, there's so much blood everywhere, and you kind of thought I died because I was like bleeding so much everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like period things, whatever. I made a story time about
That's
that.
not a
'cause
period thing.
I was like, hee, I'm so quirky and relatable, and there's so many comments being like, you murdered a baby, and I was like, I literally was not pregnant.
As far
checked
as
for
we
that.
know.
No, I checked.
You weren't after that, that's for sure.
I check. I pregnancy test myself like every month because
Yeah.
I'm actually like psycho and I just don't want to be pregnant, so
Yeah.
I check all the time.
100%.
But I gush
And we use
blood.
like 4 wrappers at a time,
Oh my god!
like to make sure there's
That-
no kids.
Could you? Do you think you can layer them like that?
I once did it with 2, but I don't know about
Wait,
4.
why did you do? What's the story?
No,
with
oh
two?
my god,
That's crazy.
it's so funny because it wasn't like my
That's
first
some
time,
lore.
but like I was nervous and like
You were like, this bitch is so crusty.
that's
that
what I mean.
need
And I'm like,
to-
I can't
I'm just
imagine
kidding.
having a child with her. So I'm like,
oh my god!
I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be strange. So I got the double
my God.
protection one. You know, those like,
I don't. I've actually never bought condoms.
yeah,
and that's,
you wouldn't need to. But there's like Trojan, like double protection. They're super thick, so it makes sex so unpleasurable. And
Oh,
so I
okay.
got those, and I'm like, I want to be safe. So I put a second one over top of the first one.
That's actually like psychopath behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Psychopath behavior. Do you want to know what else I heard of psychopath behavior from TikTok? Something I learned.
Mhm.
If you write normally and in cursive, like you write, like you have regular writing, and then you
I
mix
do
in
that.
like some cursive letters.
It looks
I
pretty.
do that too.
Oh my god, are we all psycho?
Cam says she does it too.
I
I,
love
think
that.
we're all psychopaths.
I
Like, are
love
we on
that.
our Ted Bundy shit?
No, I don't think that's psychopath. I think that's socialist. Or no, not
Socialist.
no, not social. What? Social? No, sociopath.
Sociopathic.
That's the one. That's
when
the
you
one.
cursive write in your handwriting, you're
You're
socialist.
so you fucking communist fuck.
Communist. That's really
My
funny.
grandma was communist.
One of my grandmas that like adopted my like dad. I actually don't want to out the specific member of my family, but anyways, he foster care system, you know, adopted by some family, whatever.
Who?
She's like up in the church. No, my dad was like foster care, adopted, whatever. And like,
Okay.
so someone that took my father is also very religious, very high up in the church. And when I was 7 years old, she told me that I was pregnant with the next Mary, or no, the next baby Jesus, that I was Mary pregnant with the next baby Jesus.
Okay.
And I was like literally an hour away from my parents. Don't know why my parents left me there. And she told me that I was pregnant, and I started having a full mental like breakdown, panic attack, because I thought I was pregnant at 7, and I was like, I'm not ready to be a mother. You're having this baby Jesus. And I was like, I'm 7. How the fuck? And she's like, well, with Jesus and Mary, like no one had sex. That's what's so beautiful about it. So I started sobbing uncontrollably because I was like, I can't have a baby right now.
No, she got it. It was so beautiful because it's like you don't have to enjoy it with the man because you know you're not going to finish anyway. So it's like, let's just skip the whole part. Just jump to pregnancy.
So I called my mom, scream crying, and I was like, Mommy, pick me up. And then they came and they were like, bitch, why did you tell our daughter this? And then she stood on business. I will give her credit for that. She was fully like, well, she is.
Oh, she's man, she doubled down.
She doubled down. And then I didn't have a baby. And then my mom had to like prematurely explain how you actually get pregnant and like that wasn't real.
I snuck into Catholics. Like
into
their whole infiltration system.
You infiltrated the church?
Yes, infiltrated the church. That's what you sound like.
It's my seagull laugh.
My mom wanted me to go to Catholic school, right?
Yeah.
So
well, you did, and then you got kicked out of Catholic school.
Yes, that's when they found out. I was like, it's like Among Us, but I was found.
Oh, because you weren't like
Catholic.
I
told them that though, but I like went to all of their like, they have communion. I think it's what it's called. You eat like fucking rice crackers or something.
I dropped out before I got to that point.
Dude, the rice crackers were so good.
Were they?
I didn't have lunch that day, but like it had such like, it tastes like chalk.
Did you get wine too? Because I know sometimes they give you wine. No, they don't.
The fucking great too. No.
Oh yeah,
that's like very illegal. What? Maybe in like regular church, but no.
Okay.
This was school.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're not drinking in school.
Exactly.
I drank at school one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When? How old were you?
My friend and I in grade 11, we were like, how crazy would it be if we chugged a Bombay and went to science class? And then we did, and then we sat in biology class, and we were like,
was it good?
Woo! No, I fucking was so tired after like 35 minutes.
My dream was to just get really high for like college, just wear sunglasses and like sit in the back of the room or whatever.
Yeah.
In my 5 years of college, never once got high.
Did it.
Nope. I was like, I'm going to get high and then write this exam. Nope.
And then you just never
got around to it.
That's okay.
I don't think I missed out on much. I remember we had a class once with like 2 girls and they were obviously high. They walked into the room, reeked of weed.
Oh,
but like they were so annoying. They were like the first time getting high kind of thing. They just giggled and shit in the back. I fucking hated them.
The first time I got high, I thought I was passing away. So I definitely could not do that
in
a classroom.
The first time I got high, I thought I was being abducted.
By aliens?
No, by a bear.
You thought a bear was abducting you?
Yeah, so I was working at this pizza shop and there was this Filipino dude and we were friends. He brought a little bong. So he's like, okay, you're going to get high. And after work, we're just going to smoke in the back. So I'm like, okay, we're going to go around the back of the fucking restaurant. So we were there and he lit it up and he's like,
yeah,
whatever.
The sound effects.
Yeah. And I was so scared to hit it. I didn't know what I was doing. I just coughed like fucking crazy. But then I had to walk home. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to head out now. I'm like, oh, okay. I started walking back home. It was like a 30-minute journey. I saw a bear.
Oh, wow. That'd be kind of fucking freaky though if you're high.
I was like staring at it. It's so freaky. I started running.
Oh my God.
I started laughing to myself.
You're like, this is how I die.
As I'm running, I see someone with a dog. So I come up to him like panting, out of breath. I'm like, hey, there's a bear. And I just kept ronking away. I didn't even give him a chance to react. It was so bad.
The person's just like, dog, what?
This
kid's like on one.
I hope I saved his life.
Yeah, see, weed, I get so anxious when I smoke weed that I can't smoke weed because it makes me feel like I'm like gonna pass away.
That's
every
the fun
time.
of it.
I don't think that's fun, feeling like you're gonna pass away.
For the first 90% of the entire high, it sucks.
Yeah.
But then that last 10% is like you're cruising.
Yeah.
Because then you learned how to control the anxiety.
When I was drugged with Molly, I thought I was gonna die for the first hour. And then after an hour, when I was like laying in a field, I thought I was
French
gonna pass
Montana
away.
Comes on.
I was like Googling if I was gonna die and like how to reverse the effects of dying. And I was like, I don't know. It was
how
like
do I reverse
it was
aging?
A debacle. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And yeah, no, I literally ended up because I literally thought I was dying. I was like, oh my God, how do I stop myself from dying? But I think I put in aging and it was like Botox skincare treatment.
You're like, I need Botox now.
I was like, I need a shot of Botox now. And then after an hour, I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is like one of the good things to be drugged
Once
with
you
if you're
just
going to
let
be
it
drugged.
go. I prefer mushrooms.
I hate mushrooms.
I know you do, but I love them.
It's weird. Everything
it's
moves.
So much fun.
I don't like when your like visuals go away. You know what I mean? When things are moving. Like I could never do acid because I think I'd jump off a balcony.
Do you
know what
fear.
I mean?
I think I would. Too. I'm like, especially where how high up we live, I'm not surviving that.
Oh yeah, absolutely
not a chance. I
so
could
crazy.
hit like the roof as long as my head doesn't, but it's pretty
if you
slim
jumped
chances.
off where we live, you would be done. Can I say something? Last night when we were watching our Terrifier movie, you're like, babe, we have like a little bit of wine. I want to pour us a glass of wine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, slay, like let's have a glass of wine. You pour a glass of wine for you pour a glass of wine for me, but you pour me white wine and you pour you red wine. And then you look at me and you're like, we're gonna switch, okay? Like we're gonna have some of our wine and then we're gonna switch so we can both like have some of the white wine, have some of the red wine. Okay, please keep this in mind. I've taken one baby sip of my thing of wine. Sasha finished half of his wine and he's like, time to switch. So then he switches and I get the half empty glass of wine and he has my full glass and then he drinks 3/4 of my glass of wine and then I've barely touched my other wine and he's like, switch. So now I get the fucking wine that has like a quarter of a fucking thing left in it. I've taken one more sip. You're done yours.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's my turn for yours again. And I'm like, dog, I've had 2 sips of wine. You've had 2 glasses of wine.
That's why I woke up so plastered today. I went to go for a tire change.
Yeah.
And as I'm like pulling up to the parking lot, there's no parking.
There was a license plate that said Diddler on it.
There was. Yeah, I sent you a photo. Diddler.
What?
You may be Diddy, but you're not Diddler.
You're not the Diddler.
You can't be the Diddler. Who the fuck is the Rizzler?
He was on Jimmy Fallon, right?
Yeah.
He was the one sitting closest to Jimmy Fallon?
I don't know the seating arrangement.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't know. No, because he's not the one that's the double chunk chocolate cookie.
No, that's the dad. That's Big Justice.
How do you know their names?
I don't know.
What's the kid's name then? Yeah, like the son of the double chunk chocolate cookie.
There's Big Justice and
Is it AJ?
Rizzler.
AJ? Wait, Rizzler's not their actual kid,
No,
though.
who is the Rizzler? It's like a
What
random
is
person.
a Rizzler?
I'm
Gen Z and I don't even understand. Yeah, his name's AJ. A.J. That is kind of crazy that they started doing Costco hauls and now they're on Jimmy Fallon.
It's
crazy.
such a weird thing.
Do you think we've hit a point of brain
I don't
rot
think
where
I
we
finished
can't
my
come
story.
Had bacon and syrup.
I'm not finished.
back? Okay, what was yours? Your turn.
Your turn. So, my story, when I pulled up to the parking lot, right?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
I pulled up to the parking lot, Diddler, whatever, crazy.
Yeah,
And so
Diddler.
there's nowhere to park. And I'm just like, oh shit. Then there's just a tiny little like crack of an opening. And one of the employees is just like, oh, just park here. He's like smoking a cig in the back. I didn't even know he was an employee. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I guess employees here don't fucking have costumes or uniforms.
They don't have costumes.
You know what I mean?
Our Halloween costumes never came in.
I know, so disappointing.
Yeah, sorry.
We're gonna be Art the Clown. And so I'm like, okay, let me just pull in. And as I'm about to like pull in, I'm reversing, like turning around and just about to go in.
Yeah.
A dude is like walking right to the car, like to my window specifically. And he looks identical to the dude who told me to park there.
Oh, okay.
And he's making direct eye contact with me, okay? He's looking at me, coming right fucking closer and closer and closer.
That's like actually kind of psychotic.
No, but I'm just like, he's probably an employee telling me where to go park.
Oh, okay.
I roll down my window.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, saying like hi to him.
Yeah.
He looks at my direction, keeps walking away. He did not work there. I roll up my window and I'm like,
oh my gosh, that's just
shit.
as bad when you're like waving to somebody.
Should I kill myself? I instantly,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
holy.
No, you know when someone like waves and you're like, oh my God, they're waving at me. And you're like,
Yes,
hey,
and you
and
do
it's
that.
someone behind you.
And they're like, who are you?
Oh my
and you're
gosh.
just like, oh,
I'm
my
like,
heart
oh.
hurts.
I'm like, I thought you were just being friendly. I was trying to be friendly
Then,
back.
then I walk in. The Diddler's gone, right?
Yeah,
so
the Diddler.
I'm like talking at the reception, and because of the stupid wine that I guess I overdrank of yours last night,
Yes.
I'm talking to them. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be about an hour or so. I'm like, okay, great, thank you so much. I'm like, they're asking, do you want to just sit in the lobby or are you gonna go come back? I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna make a call and then I'll come back. And they're like, okay, great, we'll see you soon. And I wanted to say no stress and no problem. So I'm like, all problem. And then
All problem.
he just looks at me and I'm like,
He's like, what dog, what?
and then I'm like, all stress. And I don't know why my brain wasn't working.
The brain wasn't braining.
It wasn't braining at all.
Okay, wait, something that's crazy. So when we were flying home from Vegas, I was so unwell because of my whole lobotomy situation. My nose on the actual airplane, it bled on the plane. I felt like I had to sneeze the whole time. The air of Vegas just was not built for me at all.
There was always AC running too, so like you
Yeah.
had like dry air.
So I was sitting in my fucking seat and I was like literally just like laying there like will sit as much as you can lay in a fucking plane seat. You know what I mean? And I was just like, there was tears coming from my eyes because I couldn't control my like nose itching. And then it started making my eyes water. Anyways, I looked like a whole ass mess.
Yeah,
and I recently was like, whatever, you know, we made the flight. It was like a couple hours. We were at a party this past weekend on Friday. I don't even know if I told Cam this. This was kind of crazy. And there was a person at this.
It was a gathering.
A gathering, whatever. There's a person.
We don't party. Yeah. We're unk status.
We are unk status. But, so there's a person at this gathering though.
We're married. Sorry.
There was a person at this gathering, okay? And I'm just, you know, sitting there and no one knows how to conversation sometimes.
Conversate.
Converse, per se. Converse. So I feel like in a lot of those situations.
Is conversate not a word?
I think it's converse.
Okay.
Cam's like, I'm going to Google this.
Okay, keep going.
No, but I don't know. I feel like my back hurts in conversations sometimes from carrying the people that don't know how to fucking speak.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of crazy. So I'm like asking people questions, whatever. And if I stop talking or like if I stop asking people questions, it's like dead silence. And I'm just like, I'm literally going to leave.
Awkward.
Like, why am I here?
100%.
And then there's this one person that I'm talking to, okay? And this is what's fucking so trippy and why I forget that like I do things and post things on social media sometimes. This person was like, I saw you on that flight home from Vegas. You were sitting at the front of the plane and I had to walk past you to the back of the plane. What am I supposed to say to that?
Talk closer to the mic.
What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say to that? I had to walk by you to go to my seat in the back of the plane. Like, okay, that's how planes fucking work, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting in front of you. I don't know what to
That's how walking works.
And then I started overthinking it because that's all that this person said was that, oh yeah, I saw you on this flight. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay.
Did they see me?
We were sitting beside each other, so I'm going to assume.
Did they mention me?
No. See, but that's my issue. I was like snotting and bleeding and crying in this seat on the plane.
Right.
And this person walked by and I wonder if they thought that I was like
a crackhead
on drugs. Like, well, clearly not a crackhead. They knew who I was. Like,
yeah.
When they saw me there, they were like, oh.
You made it on the plane. Yeah. If you can learn anything from crack, it's
crack.
Yeah.
Is not to do crack.
Don't do crack. But like
crack is
try
bad.
Fent. Fent is crazy.
Oh my God. Speaking of fentanyl, my uncle who was in jail and then like got out of jail and stuff like that. I told this story literally so many times.
Oh my God. He's already back in prison.
He's back in prison. I literally, guys, when I started making these episodes, I told this story of one of my uncles who, this crazy story of how he got in like a high speed chase with the cops. He stole a car. Like it was a whole ordeal. Okay.
Yeah.
He got out of jail in the time between my episodes and got sent back to jail before I could fucking get an episode posted on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you know how crazy that is?
No, he's nuts. He's breaking records at this point.
I kind of like, I admire. Yeah. The
admiration for it.
The like consistency of doing criminal activity. You know?
Yeah.
He's like very committed to the bit.
He's committed to the bit.
Yeah.
With these kind of microphones as well, you just need to speak and like hold them in like one area.
I'm trying my best.
I have to cut out any more fucking sound. Today, we're sponsored by Alani.
We're not sponsored.
We're also sponsored by Rode.
They're not paying us.
But we are sponsored.
No one's paying us. We're not sponsored by anything.
No, but shout out Rode because this has been like 10 episodes, as we said in the making. They sent us their dual mixer, Rodecaster Pro Dual Max 3000. I don't know, but it's so good.
Rode sent us microphones, and that was the issue with the first couple episodes is that they were such good microphones,
professional,
and our production so bad that it just didn't work.
We are, besides being outside, this is the best we're gonna get.
No, literally. So then
sound is bound to. I don't even know how good this is gonna sound.
I have no idea, but we had to switch back to these microphones. It was a whole ordeal.
A different company that you work with called Bloom. Shout out Bloom. Why
are you just plugging shit because no one's paying us?
No, but they sent us different ones. And in Canada, the max amount of caffeine you can have in an energy drink is 180 or 140. Sorry. So we got these like black market fucking energy drinks
the
in our fridge.
Really does have black market energy drinks.
200, 250. I don't know. It's such high caffeine content. It is like Fent.
I think I'm having a heart attack sometimes.
Me too. You have to be careful which ones you select from the fridge.
I have this weird quirk about me. I'm like so quirky, guys. When I don't eat and if I take a multivitamin or if I have an energy drink, I vomit it up in like 5 or 10 minutes. And the worst part about me is that I'll keep trying it because
you're like, I need the vitamin.
I think that I'm gonna like beat the throw up one of these days. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, like last week I may have thrown up from this, but this week, No way.
Why don't you just eat it with food? It says on the thing.
Now I do. But one of the weirdest things one time, it also happens with medicine. So when I'm sick, if I like need to take cold medicine, I'll like vomit back up the medicine. My body just really doesn't like meds at all.
You're also allergic to Biaxin.
Yeah, I'm allergic to like antibiotics and a whole bunch of stuff. My body's just like, not for me. But I took cold meds while I was sick. And then 40 minutes later, which is weird because when they're fast release, once it like hits your stomach, that capsule should be like, they should be broken, right? Like it should be in your body.
Yeah.
45 minutes later, I literally just hack up the full pill with the fucking capsule on it. Like it didn't disintegrate in my stomach. The whole pill just came back out.
It probably got caught in your little other throat.
Well, no, I'd feel it if it was stuck in my throat.
No, we have two throats.
My esophagus?
No, we have two throats.
My airway.
No, we have
You think it was in my airway?
No, your throat doesn't connect to your airway, I found. There's nothing connecting you to your lungs.
Why can I breathe from my throat
like
then?
I'm not a doctor, but hear me out.
Because I can breathe through my mouth.
Yeah, me too.
But doesn't
congrats.
that connect? I'm literally not a scientist.
No, it doesn't. Like you can't swallow anything into your lungs.
I'll watch me try.
You probably
Watch
could,
me try.
but you have two throats, right? Like when it goes down normally.
Throats?
Well, it's like one, but the one that goes down normally, and then there's like a little like a sack you could call, like a tiny little thing.
Oh, that
where
catches
it's like,
things.
Yes. Yeah. And that's probably where it got stuck.
I got shrimp stuck in that.
Yes.
Like, okay, so like literally like maybe, I think this was 10 years ago. And I got a shrimp tail stuck in like some weird ass part of my throat.
The second throat.
Lodged in there, okay?
Yeah.
And so then I went to the hospital. You were in Thailand. So my mom was like, I'll take you to the hospital, you literal dumb whore. So we were at the hospital.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm just paraphrasing because she's probably
she called you this in high school?
She was fed up with my shit. And when we were there, I saw one of my ex-best friend's parents were in the hospital when we were there. My ex-best friends. A friend I had, her parents.
So I'm bad at those things.
A friend I had, her parents were in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Okay, while I was there. And her dad had a heart attack.
Oh.
Okay, like heart attack, like he was down bad.
Yeah.
So then her mom
I don't think that's what that means.
That you're down bad?
Means like you're thirsty.
No, like what?
Like you're thirsty.
He was unwell after his heart attack.
Better.
And her mom was walking down like the hallways, you know what I mean? Like just, I guess, waiting for tests to come back for the dad. And so then she saw little old me waiting in there for my x-ray for the fucking shrimp in my throat. So she's like,
an x-ray?
I don't know, they couldn't find it. And then she was crying to my mom about her husband.
Because it was hidden in your second throat. I told you. Sorry, keep going.
She was crying to my mom about her husband that had like the heart attack or whatever. And then I walk out of my little x-ray and I'm like, nice to see you. Already awkward because it's someone, you're not friends with that person anymore. And it's their family that you like know.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you in for? And I'm like, the little shrimp stuck in my throat. And I had to fucking put my tail between my legs and walk away. And she's like,
good luck with the heart attack.
She's like, sweetie, yeah, like you'll be fine. I'm like, what about you? And she's like, my husband had a heart attack. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Maybe I read the situation wrong.
I thought people who had heart attacks, usually they come up fucked up out the other side. No, like usually they're like not walking or like they got or is that a stroke?
No, my dad said
What's the difference with a stroke and heart attack?
Stroke's more in your brain, right? Like something happens in your brain and then your brain can you can lose like motor function in certain parts of your body.
Once I'm unable to talk nonverbal, this is on camera. This is recorded. So this is going to be legit. Just put me out. I can't speak to you the way I'm speaking to you right now or make fun of you. Knock me out.
If you can't make fun of me, you want to be...
Yeah, I'm dead.
That's
just
crazy.
Fucking
Hot
gone.
take.
Fent. And so...
Fent. Wait, if you had to die, how would you want to die?
I already figured this out.
How?
I stayed up about a week ago when we came back home.
Figuring out how you want to die.
I bought a vape, and so the vape died, and I was going through nicotine withdrawals. But like, one of them are really...
down bad.
I was, again, very down bad. And so as I was going through these withdrawals, we're already sleeping. Tamaya's like next to me in bed. And one of the like side effects of these withdrawals is like intense emotion. And so I just felt like this instant sadness and love for you that I'm just like, I love you so much. Like I would not be here for you. And I started thinking that like, if you died, how fast could I kill myself to make sure that like,
oh my God,
I don't have to be alive.
That's crazy.
And I think about that from time to time. And I'm like, it's not a question of like, how am I going to get by or like, what am I going to do in my life? It's how painless can I kill myself to make sure that like
that's crazy.
we're like
See?
So I
If
got
ain't
to
some
that
Romeo
point.
and Juliet shit, because honestly, like everything's like all hee hee ha ha. I feel like if you died too, I'd just be like, yeah, my time's come. Let's reincarnate as something else.
Yeah,
Like, you know
well,
what I
it's
mean?
been fun, guys.
Will we come back as worms?
No, probably not.
You know what
if
I
you
mean?
kill yourself, I heard like the karmic cycle is not that good.
If you had to come back as an animal, like
We
you
would-
didn't have a choice,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, okay.
What animal would you want to come back as?
Capybara.
And then what animal do you think you'd come back as? Because you could want to be a capybara, but what do you think you'd
Capybara, and with my karma, probably like a polar bear and the melting ice caps.
You think you'd come back
Guaranteed.
as a polar
No
bear?
food, cold as fuck.
I would
Fucking,
want
it's heating up.
If I had to pick one, I'd want to be my like little homies that were outside. I'd definitely
Crows?
want to be like a raven, like
They're
a
like
bird
aggressive.
for sure.
I think capybara's so chill. Vibes with alligators, vibes with like goats.
Actually, that's true. Like capybaras get along with a lot of
They
animals.
take a lot
really
of
well.
baths. I'm a big bath person. I
You
am a water
also-
sign.
Yeah, and you also get along with a lot
Cancer.
of people.
Do
That
I?
I feel, yeah, like capybara wise, I feel like you kind of like mesh
I
with
kind of blend
everybody.
easy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you have your
yeah.
friends in jail, and then you have your friends that play Dungeons and Dragons, and I feel like it's like a very versatile
very nice
crowd
blend.
of people.
I
you
try
know?
and keep it that way. Yeah. I
so
like to,
capybara is probably
stay
good
real.
because then that's like that's the
and that's a great medium. It's like you stay
Yeah.
in like a nice tropical climate. You're usually pretty good. They're not too dirty. I find.
yeah. Okay,
You're
wait.
not
So
eaten.
if I wanted to be a raven, what do you think I would come back as?
You
Like with my karmic energy, I feel like I'd come
You're
back.
really
'cause,
nice
like,
to animals. So like
Oh,
something
thanks.
that's really giving. Something that's like.
I'm nice.
Yeah,
to-
probably a raven makes sense because then you can like barf out like food to your like
No,
kids
I fucking
because you're really giving. So you'd be like, to like all
No,
your little
hey,
kids.
but if you're saying that I'm nice, crows and ravens are actually diabolical. They like go after other birds' babies and nests and they kill things.
Mm,
So then, like, I don't know, like that's what I would want to come back
maybe
as.
like a
but-
cockatiel.
You think I'd come
I
back
could
as a
see that. Yeah,
cockatiel?
yeah.
Yeah, like a tiny
Like
little
maybe
bird.
like a lovebird of some kind.
Do you want to be cool? A hummingbird.
Bird.
Oh my god, he's
Speak-
back! Oh my god, that's my bestie.
Yeah.
We need to pick a
left
name for
again.
him.
I already gave him a butt.
You gave him a butt?
butt?
I gave him a butt.
I gave him a name. His name is Penis Butt.
His name's Penis Butt.
Penis Butt.
I'm not calling him
PB
that.
for short.
PB.
That's PB.
It's PB and J.
PUB.
It's puby. Did you poo yourself?
No, remember how I came in?
Did you
with
shit
this-
yourself?
No, do you remember how I came into this podcast and I just said I had to sit down to pee and then I was holding in the turtle head?
That's
I just wanted to make sure that I did in fact inhale it back. And I just like
inhaling it back is crazy. Inhaling your
You know what
turtle
I
head
mean,
back
though.
is crazy.
you do it all the time.
I don't
Everyone
inhale.
does it. Not
What?
you. Not okay. Like most people,
What?
when you're holding it in and it comes out a little, you have to inhale it back to bring it
the
back
worst
to
thing
terms.
that ever happened to me, actually not the worst thing that's
Oh
ever
my
happened
god, was
to
it
me.
on the hike?
No, that was bad. No, one of the worst things
Yeah.
was recently the power went out and we were at home. And so we live in an apartment building and the elevators like do not work when the power goes out, whatever.
Neither does the toilet. What the fuck is that about?
I don't know why the toilet
How is that
doesn't
even
work
like
either.
fucking electrical?
The toilet does not flush.
We don't have an electric toilet.
So I had to leave because I had to post this sponsored video and my LTE, like my service wasn't working because we didn't have Wi-Fi because the power was out. So I was like, oh my God, I was trying to upload this video and it would not upload. So I had to like get out of that fucking house. So I had to run down 30 flights of fucking stairs. And then I was like driving around to try to find Wi-Fi. I was like running around to see if my cell service would work and it wasn't. So anyways, I drove to my family's house and I sat in their garage because they're getting renovations done and they didn't let me in their house. And I had to upload my video. And then anyways, I was like, oh, okay, they're getting renovations done. Everything's like a mess inside. I have to go back home. So I come back home and as I'm like, oh, I have to do my 30 floor hike back up to my room. And I had to shit my pants so fucking bad. Parking level is underground. I have 30 flights to go hike up. I'm gripping the walls while I'm running back up. It was so bad.
See? And
So
did you
bad.
inhale it back?
No, I literally debated shitting in a corner. I literally was like, I don't think I can make it up.
Stop.
And one time I was talking to the building manager that like manages our building. And she told me she was so disappointed because someone was drunk and pissed in the stairwell.
Yeah.
And someone like pissed in a corner. And I literally was like, oh my God, she's going to kick me out of this building because I'm going to shit in the corner. And like, you know what I mean?
You are never getting employed.
No, and every floor I was going on, I was like looking for cameras because I was like, oh, if I like shit in a corner, I just don't want it to be caught in 4K and like distributed.
You're like fully hunched over.
It was so
like,
bad.
looking-
So then I was also wearing my biker shorts because I was gonna work out. So I was like, I can't even shit in my pants because they were like spandex up my ass
Oh
crack
my
already.
God.
So then I like make it upstairs upstairs. And do you want to know the biggest flaw of our apartment building? The doors on most of the floors don't let you open them on the stairways. Like our floor, the stairway is locked. Yeah. So I made it to our floor and it's stuck. Like you can't open the door. Yeah. So I'm there pounding on this motherfucking door. And like you're just like probably doing something in our unit of the world. And some like old grandma like comes out and she's just like, hello. And she opens the door and I'm just like, hi. And the clown wave. I'm like, and I'm like, I gotta go shit my fucking pants. And then the toilets don't flush. Then you have to live with your shit in the fucking toilet.
It's disgusting. That is actually disgusting. Ew.
I actually, if I ever need a day job, no one's hiring me.
No, not a chance in hell.
No.
Neither am I, though, honestly.
Yeah, let's just be real. We're in it together.
We're so deep. Who do you think had one of the biggest glow downs in history? We could do a top 5. Diddy's up there. Diddy's up there.
But my personal biggest glow down has nothing to do with looks. Also, if I sound very nasally, I'm still fighting my sinus infection from Las Vegas. I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs. What are you even doing? I don't know what
visual listeners.
I don't know what that even means.
That's the Rizzler. That's what he does. That's all he's known for.
Wait, really? I didn't even get that joke. I'm so old that he just.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
He's mewing the Rizzler Muse?
You think so? I think that's what it is, right?
If you said those words to a Victorian child, they'd be literally like, what are you talking about?
What is a Rizzler, sir?
They're like, you're having a stroke. J-Lo. I think J-Lo had a huge glow down. Not physically. I think she's so beautiful and she's definitely hotter than me, but she's a bitch.
She's
a bitch. I've heard so many stories of her working with people and she's just like the biggest see you next Tuesday to them. I think you get demonetized if I said. What does see you next
Tuesday mean?
C-U-N-T. Spell the word out. You can't. I think if you say that word, you get demonetized.
I was about to say it. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured it out. See you next Tuesday. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's just like literally such a bitch to other people that she works with. So I think that's a big glow down.
Okay. I can see it.
Because Miss Jenny on the Block probably started out so slay and wholesome and like was like, I love everybody. Like I appreciate the money and the fame. And now she's like, fuck you, spit on you, fuck, get me a coffee.
I heard there was like, I was watching a bunch of TikTok theories where like she didn't even come from the block. She's like Jenny from like the suburbs.
Yeah, she's like Jenny from the Upper East Side.
Yeah, like Jenny came from money. I don't know necessarily about money, but like
she said she's from the Bronx.
Yeah, and then she got an orange soda.
Yeah,
what the fuck does that mean?
She's like, I went to the bodega and I got an orange soda.
And if you know, you know. I'm like, who the fuck knows?
No one knows what you're talking about.
No, what do you know? I like to get it animal style, in and out, in and out. What does that even mean?
I don't understand. Who do you think had the biggest glow down?
I hate Alex Hall.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
I've said this like 6 times. I don't even have that much resentment or like anger towards her anymore. You just don't like
that girl,
when we first had episode 1 and 2, oh my God, I was treating her like the toilet.
Like dog water.
Dog water.
Literally.
I was flushing on her. But now I'm just like, whatever. She's just annoying.
I have like a personal glow down and I definitely want to title the episode this because I feel like it'll get some clicks. Because I think that my boobs have had a glow down. My boobs have flown south for the winter.
Okay.
And they did not come back up. They did not. They're not flying back up. They flew down to Mexico and they stayed there. They're like, bye-bye.
They're just chilling.
They're chilling there. Not even kidding you.
I think they look great.
Oh my God, thanks. While I was high on cold medicine, while I was, recovering after I puked it up a couple times and had to re-swallow the cold medicine back down.
Good times.
I was literally Googling like boob lifts. Okay, when no one tells you this, when you lose weight, fucking why did 20 pounds of that come out of my boobs? It's awful.
Yeah, I don't have a medical reason for that. Winnipeg has great rates for boob lifts.
I know. And then I fucking fell down this rabbit hole. And then it's like, if you have kids and you breastfeed, then they're going to get even worse. That's a whole thing.
Then they'll get
I'm like kind of stuck in this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Such a first world problem.
They'll start getting blood coming out of the nipple. And just
that's so... I've actually always wondered when people have nipple piercings and you breastfeed, does it come out of all of the holes?
It does.
Like if you take the piercing out, does it come out of the 3?
Yes.
Really?
2. 3.
Yeah, because like, you have like your main nipple hole.
The main nipple hole.
And then you have the 2 on the sides, right?
Yeah.
From where the bar went through.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Logically.
Well, see, my fear here is that my boobs right now, I fear they're at a point of no return. And I fear, because I have another like 25, 30 pounds.
You're like 27 years old. You're fine.
It's a problem. And then because I have another 25, 30 pounds to my like goal weight or whatever, they're going to be way worse than that.
You think?
Like the nipples will be under my boob at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, they won't.
They're gonna be underneath.
You are fine.
I'm like scared about that.
I think you'll be good. I don't think you have anything to wear. And like I said, Winnipeg, I'll drive you there.
I'm not driving to Winnipeg. Isn't
I
that
will
like
put a mattress in the car.
Don't they murder the most people in Winnipeg? What's up with that? Are they killing people in Winnipeg?
That is the murder capital of the world. Or Canada,
not the world.
Not
That's
the world.
Definitely
no,
not the world.
That's like fucking...
Isn't Prince George in BC the like crime capital of BC? Is Prince George or something like that?
Surrey.
I thought it's Prince George. I think those two are like both up there.
Yeah,
for, like,
I think
what
so.
Definitely.
Don't visit BC. This place sucks. So much crime,
BC
so much
is so
fent.
beautiful.
So much fent. It's
way
beautiful
too
when you're
expensive,
leaning.
though. When you're leaning?
Huh?
When you're fent leaning?
Kamloops.
What the fuck are they doing up in Kamloops? Probably
Oh my
drugs.
God, they just actually seized like 500,000 tons of something. It was enough doses of fentanyl to kill every single Canadian 2 times over.
There was a dude who just tried to drive through the border from BC into Washington State, and he had $16 million of cocaine in his car.
Oh my God.
16 million.
How do you fit that in your car?
And how do you think that that's not going to get caught? You know what I mean? $16 million of coke is probably like, I actually don't even know what a visual would be, but that seems like your whole car.
I think that's like
your whole car worth of coke.
I think it would at least be like a table's height.
I actually don't even know how much cocaine is. I've never bought it.
A little baggie goes for like $100.
$100?
Isn't that an 8-ball? I don't know. I've never done
So that's definitely a rich person drug then, to be able to afford that.
Absolutely.
And after I was drugged with Molly, I wanted to unalive myself for the whole week afterwards.
You're only depressed though with mixed Molly, with like cut Molly. You're
there's
supposed
probably
to not
like
have that crazy.
Yeah,
of a
I worked
downfall.
with this kid and he would do Molly all the time. And
not a good idea.
Which is definitely not a good idea. And he would test his Molly because he's like, I'm not crazy. And he'd be like, oh, there's just a little bit of meth in this one. And he'd still take it.
That's the speed acting. That's like I need that.
He's like, it's a little bit of meth.
That's what's going to give me like energy while I'm off of it. Duh. Of course I'd want that.
That's diabolical.
Yeah, no, drugs aren't good. Don't do drugs. Even weed is dangerous for me, man. I can't like...
I don't think I can even have energy drinks anymore as I'm drinking one because I think I have heart attacks.
Those fucking fent cans we have at home.
That's crazy.
The US is nuts, yeah.
Do you want to know what else is crazy in the States? The secret lives of Mormon wives.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up.
I know, because they just drink soda. They are literally in their like Mormon culture.
Oh my God.
Shout out if you're a Mormon.
Shout out Utah, shout out Idaho.
They're like, I can't drink coffee because of the caffeine, but I'm going to drink a fuckload of soda.
I'm going to have 3 kids before I'm 25, get divorced. But no caffeine for me.
Yeah.
Which is weird. No, they're okay with caffeine. You can't have coffee, right? Or is everything a diet
I think
version?
their sodas are all diet. I've only seen them have like diet Pepsi, Diet Coke.
Because that's my thing. I'm like, if you can't have coffee,
I don't think they can have
having caffeine.
They can't have caffeine. They can't have alcohol. They can't have drugs. They can't have
smoke.
Can't have premarital sex.
Oh my
they
God,
can't
they
have.
vape?
I don't think they can vape. I wonder if Mormons vape.
No,
some of them probably like break
That's
Mormonism to.
Of course they do. Don't know, but that show's
crazy.
You think you have like good reality TV? No. Perfect Match, garbage. Love is Blind, shit.
The Kardashians, no.
Can't even hold a fucking candle
to the secret lives of Mormon wives.
In just the first episode alone, like you have to, if you haven't watched it, there's
crazy
domestic abuse, pregnancies with a boyfriend who someone beat up, and then gets
poker addiction, an abusive husband,
cheating.
Porn, oh my gosh, a swingers scandal, a Mormon swingers scandal.
Yes.
Mormon swingers.
Nuts.
And wait, top it all off. This is for the visual listeners. There's a lady. I have to crouch, I think, to be in the frame. And she has her baby in the hospital. Okay, so she has her baby in the hospital here, okay? Her baby's like suffering. And she starts going,
bust it down, bust it down, bust it down. Hey, 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 hey. Bust it down, bust it down, bust it down, bust it down. Hey, hey, hey.
Beside her dying baby in the hospital.
No, he was recovering then. That's why she did that dance, because she felt so much love of God.
That's diabolical. Your kid is suffering beside you, and she was dancing.
That's Whitney. Shout out Whitney.
That's Whitney, and Whitney's crazy.
Whitney is first episode. You're like, you know what? Taylor seems kind of out there. Whitney is definitely like someone I could side with. Episode 2, you're like balls to the wall. Fuck Whitney. Fuck Whitney. I'm a ride or die Taylor fan. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, people probably don't know the full lore of the show, so we won't go into like all of the characters, but definitely watch it if you want tea on other people's lives.
Like good tea, not some bullshit that someone calls you being like, I just talked with someone about like fucking some bullshit.
Yeah, like the Kardashians are like, there was an article about how I wear too much makeup and blah blah blah.
And then
like,
it just like camera shoots being like,
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what you get in the trailer. The trailers have more fucking drama than the actual episode. The episodes are so mid for like a 1 minute interaction that gets cut off anyways. This whole
every episode of the
you're
sister
gripping your seat because it is so
you're
fucking
like clenching
good.
your
You're
hole.
clenching your holes, all of them.
Literally,
like,
and you're just like, oh my God.
It's messy. You want to get some wine. You want to kick back. You can. Yeah.
When we were in Vegas too, I just had to say this in the podcast because I think it's kind of funny. We were sitting in the hotel room, and one of the girls who works at this studio, Chelsea, I love her. She's like, I need to FaceTime you. And I was like, yeah, FaceTime you. Like, what's up? Is something wrong in the studio? Yeah. And it's just a car gone through the window at the front of the fucking building.
Yes. Oh my God. There's a whole other to lore reason
of that
behind
whole situation,
that.
which we will
won't
not
get
dive into.
No.
But yeah, there was a car just through the building that we're sitting in while we were away. And I'm like, oh, there's never a dull moment.
Imagine how great that would have been for a podcast, though. We're just sitting in a fucking car rams through the window. And I'm like, that is sick.
Because she was in here tattooing and she was like, oh, I felt everything kind of like shake a little bit. And we heard a sound. And then there was just a car in the building.
Nuts.
That's kind of slay.
Yeah.
I do want to do a segment, not now, but like in future episodes where I get like other people that like work with us in the studio and stuff to tell us their craziest client stories.
That'd be cool.
Like we'll get Cam to come tell us some of her crazy client stories.
Okay.
Chelsea, who I was just talking about, has a really funny one that I need her to say. Dope. And then I have so many that we'll do a whole like episode of crazy client stories with everyone sharing.
Yeah, if we get more than 5 listeners, this will be a hit.
100%.
It's a hit. Well, thank you so much for listening to The Glow Down. Hopefully this episode will be released along with...
I'm Tamaya.
Oh my God.
We
did I not
introduce ourselves the whole time.
I'm Sasha.
I'm Tamaya. Thank you for
watching.
watching.
Call me Alex. Actually, no. To all of you, I'm Alex. Don't call me Sasha. That's not my name.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.